take it you're Colonel O'Neill. Captain Samantha Carter reporting, sir.
Mothers come up with their daughters and say, we watched the show together. And my daughters are proud and strong and stronger women because they want to be like Sam Carter. It's astounding. That's a huge impact.
When I started to get letters, when we started to get fan mail to the studio, the majority of the letters I got were from young women talking about the impact of the character, talking about the inspiration of the character. And so, yeah, you feel the weight of that responsibility. And I felt it that there were certain things that I would, I didn't push back on the writers very much because for the most part they really got it. But there was a few times where I was like, she can't say that. That's silly. There was one executive from the studio who wanted Carter to wear a very low-cut tank top and a push-up bra. So I went, I just arrived in Vancouver, we'd had our cast read-through, it was super exciting. I went for my wardrobe fitting, and I had been told I'd be wearing black t-shirts and army fatigues and boots, and I was like, awesome. And then there was this tank top and push-up bra, and I looked at the costume designer and I said, what, the what? And she said, well, they want to see what you look like in it. And I said, but nobody in the military, no captain in the US Air Force would wear this, while her male counterparts are wearing crew neck t-shirts, and I can't do it. And she said, well, they just want to see what you look like and take a picture. And I was like, and I panicked because I thought, I have just been given this amazing opportunity. I didn't know it would last 10 years, but I knew it was going to be a kick-ass show. And I was like, I can't do it. And I started to cry and I said, you have to go upstairs and tell them I'm not doing it. And if it means that they recast the part, then recast the part. I loved her so fiercely. I loved the show and the concept so fiercely. And then to walk in and see that, I was like, it just makes me heartbroken even telling the story. But so anyway, she phoned back up, and of course our producers said, no, forget it, then she doesn't have to do it, don't worry about it. This is one guy at MGM that wants to see her in this outfit. No. And so she handed me the black t-shirt and the regular jacket and the regular army pants and the regular boots and the regular, and said, okay.
But that to me was the defining moment of, and I still cry about it because I still remember that young woman on the verge of breaking into something big, being petrified that she was going to lose it, but I knew that I couldn't play the TNA version of Sam Carter.
And I put it on and it instantly felt right and comfortable and appropriate and honoring our military and honoring the women in the military and not sexualizing something that needn't be sexualized. Carter stood on her own as an incredibly strong, incredibly intelligent character with great loyalty and so many wonderful redeeming qualities. And she was sexy in her own right by being all of those things. Carter was a very well-written character initially in terms of her credentials, but I felt that they wrote a very man writing a woman character as in evidence by certain lines in the pilot.
I'm an Air Force officer just like you are, Colonel. And just because my reproductive organs are on the inside instead of the outside, doesn't mean I can't handle whatever you can handle.
Now, that line was in the pilot. And our contract specifically stated that we could be fired after the pilot. So of course we're all on our absolute best behavior during the pilot, because nobody wants to get fired.
So it was after the pilot when I knew that my job was secure that I was able to go up and say, you know what, women don't actually talk like this. Never have I used the gender argument in that way. If I've ever even used it, but also, and I said, just write as if you're writing for a man, and I'll bring a certain inherent femininity to it, simply by virtue of my gender, but also hopefully because I'm somewhat feminine.
But don't just write her as a brilliant human being. And yes, the soldier, like I physically I can do this, and intellectually I can do it. So don't write the girly moments. I mean, they wrote some in for fun, but for the most part they dropped off of that. So I didn't feel like I had to keep pushing the female agenda. I was hoping that it would just become an organic part of the team, and that eventually she would just be accepted for who she was as a human being, which it happened.
When I got the audition for Sam Carter, when I read the character, holy wow! I was like, this is a phenomenal character. I've never seen anything like her. She is so strong. She, there was Janeway, and there was, Nicole Nichols did great stuff, but this character felt like, because she was so incredibly smart, and because she was such a good soldier, and I could read it in even just in the scenes they sent for the audition for the pilot. I was like, oh man, I got to get this part. And I knew there was something really quite spectacular about her.
I don't want her to become sexualized, and I don't think she ever, well, hello. She's not, that's not what she's about, and then the writers are painfully aware, because I hurt them physically. I'm very proud of the fact that she is this strong, smart, capable woman, and it's not ever been, she's great, and it's not ever been about her being sexy. Having said that, now that she's got this relationship in her life and she's exploring this other side of herself that she's never really given into, I think the fact that she's a little more comfortable with her sexuality is okay.
As soon as we met and realized that Tara was going to become a regular character on the show, the one thing that was important was that our characters were friends and not rivals.
Oh, hey, Sam.
Yeah.
Cassie is staying at a friend's tonight, so what do you say, girls' night out?
We had really amazing writers on that show, and they really listened to the actors' voices, and they had a very clear idea of what they wanted the characters to be. So I credit them more than I credit myself in terms of how Sam turned out.
I'm so proud of this character, I'm proud of this show, but when you actually meet people face to face who you know that it's had an impact on because of the character you play and because of how she's, you know, developed and whatever. And that's like, I can't even put into words what that means.